So I am Davinder Chodha.
Yeah.
Uh, I come from a village called Lawalpur in district Jalandhar, Punjab.
Okay.
I did my graduation in commerce and post that I did MBA, both from Delhi University.
Okay.
So after MBA, I worked for 3 years in Central as Excise as inspector.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I was preparing for UPSC also. In my family, I have my father, my mother, my brother, bhabi, my
Okay.
two cute little nephews, my wife, and my soon-to-be born child. About
Okay.
my hobbies keep changing. Earlier, I used to be into fitness. I used to run, jog, and do a bit of gymming also, tennis and badminton. UPSC examination, actually, when I passed my 10th standard, I actually decided that I will one day do UPSC. But then back then, I was more attracted and amused with the kind of respect and paraphernalia that a civil servant gets. But then, as you grow, you start realizing that how important and how responsible the job of a civil servant is, and how a civil servant can bring about a positive change in the lives of many people.
Okay.
So that was there. And apart from that, I kind of took it as a challenge to write and clear one of the most difficult exams in the country. So that was one motivating factor. But particularly, it was like doing something for the society and for the people around you. That's it.
Okay.
Preparation for UPSC, no doubt, it's tough because you have to put in a good 4 5 hours of study every day, and then on
Mm-hmm.
weekends you have to extend your study hours. uh, the most challenging part of preparation for me was because I was working while preparing. I was working in Kerala in the Central Excise Department.
Okay.
So I had to study within the bounds of the time that I got after my working hours, and that too after the working hours you had to look after the household chores, and you look after your food and everything.
Yeah.
Plus, in Kerala, I did not have the environment as such, in the sense that I did not have many people preparing for UPSC around. I did not have any guidance in terms of teachers whom you could ask questions and take guidance from. So that was the most challenging part. But having said that, the preparation is tough, no doubt. But nothing is tough before a man's will to
Of
move mountains. With sheer hard work, you can do anything. Even with the job, you can prepare and clear it. I wrote my first UPSC exam in 2013. 2013 was the first exam when they brought about a major change in the examination pattern. They reduced the optional from 2 to 1.
mm-hmm.
They brought in the CSAT examination in the prelims,
Okay.
and they introduced ethics and morality paper in the GS examination, mains examination.
Okay.
Since then, I have felt that UPSC syllabus has become more specific.
Hmm.
So you do not have to read and learn each and everything. You have to just stick to the syllabus and be good at it.
Okay.
And also, a recent change that has been brought in is the way the cadre allocation policy has changed recently.
Mm-hmm.
So that does not actually alter the way you prepare, but it actually alters the way you fill up your choices for cadres based on your personal preferences and circumstances. So
Okay.
I think nowadays UPSC is more oriented towards current affairs. So
Mm-hmm.
even if there is any question in history, it will be asked in the context of the present happenings. So that way it is more specific and more current affairs oriented, I believe. There is no particular day in the life of an IRS because of the uh, various functional profiles that we have in the income tax department.
Okay.
So currently I'm posted in the investigation wing as Deputy Director Investigation Income Tax Investigation. So in investigation, it's quite hectic. Uh, so in investigation, we conduct search and seizure operations, uh, commonly known as raids in common
Okay.
parlance. So on the day of the raid, your day starts at 4 in the morning, and the day does not end at least for 3-4 days, because the raid lasts for 3-4 days.
Okay. Okay.
And during the raid you have to be on your toes, because you are going you have to be on your toes because you have to control the premises where you go, and at the same time you have to respect the privacy and sensibilities of the people, of the residents of the premises.
Of course.
So that way it's quite hectic. On other days when raids are not happening, generally we are preparing for raids
Okay.
or conducting other investigations, collecting information from within the country or outside, in order to lay bare the modus operandi adopted by tax evaders uh, to structure their financial transactions for tax evasion. So on a daily basis, we are building up stories, of
Yeah.
course, backed
Okay.
by evidences and documents,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to to unfold the intricacies of the financial structures, and uh, and to establish the tax evasion if there is any.
Okay. So what are the other departments that one you talked about, that you currently are in the tax investigation department. So what are some other departments that a person can, look into being an IRS officer?
So there are different establishments here. One is regular assessments. Assessment is like, for example, people file their income tax returns,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the returns get selected for assessment. Assessment means verification of whatever you have declared in your ITR. So that
Okay.
is very specific. In assessment, we check and verify whether the correct income has been declared by any assessee,
Mm-hmm.
and the correct provisions of the income tax law has been followed or not. So that is very specific. And in assessment, we focus on specific issues compared to investigation, where we are trying to find out major tax evasions and modus operandi.
Okay.
But in assessment we focus on, and in assessment there are various kinds of assessments.
Mm-hmm.
For example, business, I mean non-corporate,
Okay.
for the businesses that have not corporatized themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are corporate assessments, then there are assessments of trusts, then there
Okay.
is a separate divisions for companies, international companies that do business in India, and that they are those are liable to pay tax in India, so they are assessed in international tax.
Mm-hmm.
There are other divisions like FTNTR. FTNTR is the division that interacts with foreign jurisdictions. So if we have to collect any information from the foreign jurisdictions, we route it through the FTNTR division of CBDT. So that way, there are many work
Departments.
profiles in income tax department.
Okay.
But ultimately, we enforce three laws in income tax department: Income Tax Act, the Benami Property Act, and the Black Money Act, in short.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes. Challenge, if you see, being a tax man is a very challenging job, in the sense that it is a thankless job, because nobody wants to pay taxes, and you are there to extract taxes from people, extract due taxes from people.
Okay.
So in that sense, you do not, you feel that you are not doing any good to the people you interact with.
Mm.
But at the same time, when you look at the larger picture, as we say that revenue is the source of administration. No administration can run without revenue.
Okay.
So taxation is the most important part of administration. So looking at the larger picture, we have to see that we are playing a very important role.
Mm.
Uh, Coming to achievements, it has been a very short journey as an IRS officer, but I have so far got 3 letters of appreciation.
Great.
So every time you crack a good case and establish a good modus operandi of tax evasion, that's an achievement for you.
Okay.
People opting for IRS, I have one advice. I was from the commerce background, so I had a head start compared to the people with engineering or other backgrounds, because
Okay.
uh, income tax has to do with accounts and finance. So I already had a head start. But the people opting for IRS, you have to know that in field you will be dealing with highly polished and professional CAs who have been in their field for many years.
Hmm.
So you for to tackle them, to face them, you have to be very good at your job. So to do that, you have to focus on accounts, finance during your time at the academy. And
Okay.
academy provides a very good environment. They teach you very well in the subjects of accounts and finance. So you have to focus on those areas. And secondly, I would like to tell people that revenue services, the importance of it is going to be much higher in the coming times, because as a country grows, as we all know, when a country grows, uh, taxation, particularly the direct tax uh, contribution to the revenues of the country, it increases.
Mm-hmm.
So IRS is going to be an exciting service in the future.